Okay, welcome back to the 760 PowerMaster V2 restoration. Hopefully this will be the final installment. I got 6 already. But one guy complained that the videos were 30 minutes too long. I usually like to keep them down about 30 minutes or so. And when I'm filming every little move I'm making, it takes at least 45 minutes bare minimum. I can maybe cut it down to 35, but that's awful hard to do, so it takes more episodes to cut it down to fit the viewer's short attention span, which is more their fault than mine. But be that as it may, I got everything finished up and polished, painted, blue, whatever, so we can start putting this thing back together. And I can try to remember where all the screws go, because it's like every single part of this thing has a different size screw. I hate that part. But anyway, we'll get to work on this thing, so let's just hit it. Okay, you can see the painted parts here. You can see that 103 down here that was stamped in it for October '73. These are looking real good. Still got some oil on these from letting them cure for 6 days as of today. So I gotta wipe them down. Gonna need some Resto. I'm gonna use to, when you got guns sitting on a rack, wiping them down with Resto and then dry patching them, well, it will last longer on the surface than that's funny waxy smell than regular rem oil and stuff. Dang, Rem Oil Pro 3 there was actually turning a little gummy on the surface. But look at that, ain't that nice? That's looking really good. I swear that Resto is the funniest darn smell. Well, I'll be wiping these on the outside and inside for several minutes here while I get everything prepped to put it back together. So we'll come back then. Got the barrel and the pump tube cleaned inside now from the excess oil that was starting to get sticky. But look at that. That is beautiful. That's beautifully done, that really is. Finally found a way without dip tanks to get these to come out nice and even. And right there's the front sight hole. The screw that goes to the top of the barrel band here goes in that little indentation right there. And here is the 2 holes for the rear sight, and this is the breech. So from about here back it goes inside the receivers. So we gotta, I think what I'm gonna do is clean up this sight parts. Got the piston and connecting rod thing in here. I'll put that aside. Okay, rear sight. Oh, I got the front sight is new. I got that over there. Here is the door to the BB reservoir right here. Okay, here's the rear sight elevator. So many different size screws. I guess the only thing I don't like about putting these back together is trying to remember where each screw goes. Some are like that and some of these 760s aren't. It seemed like the variant one had screws that were a bit more standardized. Just hate picking all this stuff up. Oh, I did it again. This one's the pump arm and all 3 pins that pins it right there, and then 2 pins to pin the forestock to the pump arm. Oh yeah, come on. Okay. There's a new front sight. And I got 2 of these, but I only charged it for 1 because I need 1 for mine. These things, if you got a press, I got this cup seal with the seal kit, but I don't have a press to get that apart. The press, I don't know, it's aluminum or whatever, out of that brass bushing that's holding the seal cup on there. New felt oiler ring there. So keep that one. Put that over here on the cloth with the other little valve parts. And here's the new valve part, but the pinhole is off center. I hope that still works. And it is a used one, so I'll clean that up and put it in there. There's the hole right there, threaded hole right there. That other screw was stuck in. Set that over there. He gave me a set of screws there, but doggone it, I just really have to look through these darn things to see which one goes where. If they're just, I needed another screw that goes through here into that threaded hole in the valve I showed you. It's got to go through this tube and into the valve. The only thing I have trouble with these darn things is remembering where all the screws go. Well, you can't keep that dang thing. I can't find the screw that goes in there. These little screws just... The one I just found... Oh, come on. Matter of fact, the way that's pointed like that, I still think that's not the right one. Because even the variant 1 is doesn't have a point right there. It's a little flatter. These two real short buggers right here. If I can get them together. Get over there, darn it. These look like the ones that go back here for the rear sight. I just can't find one long enough to go in the front sight. Of course, this one didn't have one. I think that washer goes on this one because that one was the only one I could get to screw into the valve. So we'll set that aside. Hard to get on there. Okay, I think this one right here is supposed to be for the front sight. The other one, it won't go in the hole. I just... Okay. Wait a minute, I gotta see what size that was. What was it? I had to take a 9/64 drill bit to drill out the hole in the front sight there so the screw could go through. It was so tight it was wanting to cross thread, and you can't have that, especially when it's got to block a hole that goes all the way through to the bore. So we got the front sight on. I still don't think that's the right one. It's one of the earlier ones, was not variant. I don't think it's a variant 2. I really don't. Could be wrong though, you know. I just like to get the barrel assembled before I try to. When I put this together, I got the barrel band and end cap go on this end, and then I have to take this and gently slide it through, and at the same time I got to put that little, looks like a cut piece of tubing, the gasket that goes in between here and under here, right there, to seal where the compressed air goes through behind the pellet, but in front of the bolt probe and all that. So I have to keep turning the monitor back on for a little more background light. But that barrel is perfect. It's one of the best bluing jobs I've done yet. Of course, it's really good metal too. The metal's a bit purer from the batch these barrels were made from, if you want my opinion. Okay. Okay, that sight elevator goes with the small end towards the back. So it's sitting on the second notch maybe. This is really hard to, you wouldn't believe how hard this is to get these screws started. Okay. If you just get that to... Oh, I can't get it to sit still. It keeps wanting to roll around. There we go. Gotta get these screws in straight and all the way in so they'll block the holes, threaded holes into the bore. Okay, I got the elevator on the second notch from the back. Oh, you know what? I'm using the wrong screwdriver. Gun screwdriver. Okay, and there we go with that. I don't know. None of these screws here look like the right size to go through this hole here, that hole there, and all that stuff, or whichever one it is. It goes through one of these, this thing, and into the valve. And that, will you let go? Looked like this one to me. That's the only one I can get to screw into the valve, but boy, it's a long son of a bitch. And I got, oddly enough, I don't remember where this goes. But anyway, front sight and rear sight. The barrel band goes in that dimple you see between them. Sit down. Okay, we got that together. Try to start on this valve here. Okay, that's the part that's damaged from the screw. All the screw was cross-threaded and jammed in there, and tried to drill it out, and that's gone. So I had to buy another one. Unfortunately, the little pinhole is supposed to be on center, and it ain't. Get it inside, and it kind of is, but oh well. Anyway, and that's got a big seal down there. I'm gonna leave that in there because I know I didn't get another one like that. Got another cup seal for the piston, but not the small deep one that goes in there. I can tell that. Oh, okay. And they gave me the exploded diagram with the parts list on the back. Unfortunately, that's post 75, not pre 75. They gave me the wrong one. How do they get these darn springs together? Okay. Now this is the old one. That's the new spring for inside the valve. The new one's longer. We'll try it and see what happens. Here's the piston cup seal for the first couple variants. I don't have a press to get the bushing off the aluminum part of the piston, so I could press the seal back on. And the new valve piston is too long compared to the old one. Well, once again, I'm going to have 20 million of them damn things built up because they keep putting the wrong one in there. Tried them things before and it didn't work. So that goes like that. No, that fits. Okay. Got to get out the seal picks. I completely forgot. That's from Harbor Freight Tools. Pittsburgh Tools, but their Harbor Freight has these for a few bucks. Can't get that darn thing off of there. Okay. They did give me a new port gasket. Okay, that'll work. Alright. Oh, I can't hold on to that thing. Trying to get the use my thumbnail and the rag to get the dirt out of the ring land there. Okay, new seal there. Okay, I guess it's the one that goes on the bottom there. So when this screws on, and this slides over the end, and this goes over that, and it should all work. Okay, so I'll save the old seal. You can tell that old seal is a little hard, but and then plastic piston. I didn't show you guys, sorry. The little end of that plastic piston goes down towards the front of the valve. So you see the flat part there. Then this goes in there. And then like some of the other ones, this one doesn't have like a cone-shaped brass thing with an armature on it for an exhaust valve. This doesn't have that. Put the spring in there. That's the new spring. It's longer, but this one might be compressed from sheer use. And there's that. Okay. Got another seal. We got two of these little gaskets. That flat one, I don't think that takes. Oh no, that might be the one right there. Let's see. I'll have to save that one. I don't know. I can't get that out. It's got a. This edge is rolled and I can't pull it out. Okay, let's see if I can get that little seal out of it, because that would be that one. Okay, I had to wind up cutting the old seal off the exhaust end of this exhaust valve part. That doesn't come out, I don't know why. But they got a rolled edge, kind of rolled. They put it in and roll the edge over so you can't pull it out. But I had to use an X-Acto knife, the number 1 X-Acto, to cut that out and put the new one on. This one here is handy for putting the seals on, but you got different shapes here to you know, get them off and everything. All right. That goes on the end there. And I know that goes on there like that. Oh, here we go again. That damn thing is just sticking like glue. I don't know what the hell somebody put in there. What did I do with it? There it is. Take them squeeze bottles of Pelgun oil and put it in these brown L's bottles. About half an ounce. 1 ounce would have been easier to squeeze, quite frankly. Okay. Every time I buy a seal kit, I get another one of those white tubes of Pelgun oil. Okay, you see this little indentation right in there? That covers the exhaust valve, but that's where, oh come on, that's it, over there, goodbye. that's where this, they call it a gasket, it's a tubular seal, goes between the one on like this on the end of the barrel and down through the pump tube over here and into this thing. So I gotta see which side, left or right, this screw hole faces. I thought it was the right side, so it would be kind of like that. So basically, anyway, that's the completed valve. Variant 1 and 2 so far that I've seen use this one. There so I can use the towel. Okay, if that faces down, and that's the one that the bigger hole there faces up. So that would have to face left. I gotta study this diagram some more. Just keep feeling I'm forgetting little things. Because it was over a month ago, I took this thing apart and started working on it and everything. And waiting for stuff to come in and all of that. Okay, I lubed up the valve assembly with some Pelgun oil and shoved it down in there. Now I just gotta get it down in there far enough. I lost that. There's 20 million tools in the place to set them all down. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, you can kind of see the brass right there. That's where the screw goes in to hold it in place. And then, straight. Oh, come on, dang. And down in there, you can see that flat spot where the port gasket goes in. Just use the clean one here to, the hair, come on with that hair, I can't have hair in there. Okay. That bowling just looks so nice, I'm trying so hard not to scratch that. And again, you have to push the valve in from the front, and the rest of all this hammer, piston, and all that stuff goes in the back over here. So this tubular seal thing presses in like that. You heard that. It goes in fairly firm, but I wouldn't say tight. Just really snug. So you want that in there. That's supposed to have looks like a hollow pop rivet, if you want my opinion, about that long, that this thing goes on top of and the whole thing goes down in there. I've actually never seen that it looks like a hollow rivet, but I don't know what else to call it, that this seal fits on. And it's made out of metal. It's supposed to help it hold its shape, I guess. Okay, so old spring. That's the old hammer spring, and that's the new one. Let me look at the diagram here. I saved the diagrams as JPEG files. Oh, they go. Oh, okay, got that backwards. It goes that way. Got it. Spring goes in there, and that was it. Dang it, I still didn't get enough of that burr off there to suit me. Okay, well anyway. It'll still work once it's inside. I cleaned it up and all that stuff. Put the spring in the back of that hammer piston. Get that in there. So I put this extra hell gun oil. It's fine machine oil with automatic transmission fluid in it. So that it swells the seals like in an automatic tranny, so they seal good over a longer period of time. Okay, now this goes in sideways to line up with these holes right there. And it fits flush in there like that. It's just odd that there was never anything to screw the thing into, although it's threaded. Oh wait a minute, that's the one it's pressed together by the receiver halves, and there's a bolt that goes through it. That was it. Well, the bolts go in like this. Something like that. So oh no, it did. Bolt hole slipped. One of the longer screws is the only one on this thing that fits in there, so I'm going to screw that in there to hold it in place. And now we got to line the port thing back up where the gasket goes. Try to keep that pressed in there, because this part under that, and put the bolt in there, so that'll hold that together temporarily. Until which time, we can put it together and figure out which bolt goes where to go through into that valve. I should have stuck that bolt in there to begin with. I just didn't think of it. Okay, we got the pin in there or tube in the bolt goes through. That fits flush. Putting compression on the spring, the hammer spring going in the hammer slide. It's like a slide hammer. They just call it the hammer. It's like a hammer piston or a slide hammer. It's just make up your mind what you want to call it. Okay, got that together. Gets dark so early though, doggone. Time 2:49, and in the summertime it'd be like about 9:30 getting this dark. It's hard to see. Start again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get a brighter day. It was bright for a while there, now it's getting cloudy again. Now I'm going to show you something where you better pay attention. Okay, now this is the seal cup, the piston, where you gotta use a press in here to get this outer bronze bushing off to get this out, change it. Oil ring and adjuster nut. Has to be removed from this so that you can change this basically. Since I don't have any way, don't have a press to get that out with it. Don't have a way to use a C-clamp on there either. And once again, I forgot to put my gloves on. Okay, so anyway, first thing I gotta do is measure it from up here to the base of the jam nut. That I need the length here. That's very important. You got to get that right. And well, one of them before, it might have been the variant one. It was like 2 5/8, 2 7/8, something like that. 1 1/16 inch. So we will keep that measurement in mind. So when we unscrew that one, put this one in, we can get to the same adjustment. Got a 13mm wrench there. I don't know if that's going to work. Just trying to find a way to jam that thing to work. Okay, there. Had to turn it counterclockwise to break the torque off of it, thereby allowing it to be unscrewed. Nice blued jam nut too. I don't remember that. I think that's the first time I ever saw the jam nut blued. Okay, we're going to save this. So when I find a way to press that, I've got a cup seal right there, and I can rebuild that one and use it in one of my other 760s that still use the old-fashioned pump piston like this. Okay. Say that better darn well fit. Okay, now clean that one more time. End of story there. Okay. Oops, sorry. Put that down here where you can see it. Okay, let's measure that again. Got to go in farther. So you turn this nut counterclockwise up here, and you can screw this in further until you get the proper length. One and 1/8. Oh boy, is that close. Okay, got it. 1 1/16 on the nose. Okay, now carefully, I had the tip of this big screwdriver in this slot right there to lay against the table and hold it like this. And there we go. Now let's measure it again just to make sure we still got that on point. Okay, yep. That's good. And let's set that over there. I want to save that. You know what? That's cool ratcheting wrench. My son bought that. To save that, got another bag over here. I'm going to put the extra stuff in to save for. So now, okay. Well, it's new to me, but it's not new. It's a used pump arm. I got the 3 pins in here, two for there's 2 that go through here and here for the forestock, and one that goes through this thing in the end of this tube and through here to pin all that together. And that would go like that. I tell you what though, I might just put the forestock back on that thing first. And I got a pin sitting over right here that pins this on the end of that pivot arm on the pump arm, so it can go like that. Okay, anyway, this is where I have to hammer these pins into these holes through these holes. Got to attach the forestock. Gee, roll pin punches. Okay, this is the one that matches. I don't know where the numbers are, I can't see. But anyway, I can't get it down in there. You guys are going to have to wait. Okay, I had to tap that pump arm into place with a hammer since it's so tight. I'm prying up and down with a little screwdriver to line it up so I could use these roll pin punches in the respective holes to hold it in the right place after re-drilling the holes to 9/64 so the pins would fit to begin with. And so now we'll move the punches one at a time and try to pound these roll pins in. Okay, after getting the pump lever lined up in the forestock, I got one of the pins in with a drift punch holding the place, and here I got the back pin in. And what it looks like with both of them in there. I missed the front one a couple of times. Oops. And here what it looks like with the front pin going through the inside of the pump lever. And the one in the rear, same thing. And here we have what I call the connecting rod, and the slot in the back of it with the new piston stuck in it, as we showed earlier. And the pin that holds the connecting rod to the pump lever is top center in the picture here. And that's how the barrel band goes in, with the slots in the barrel band lining up with the slot in the bottom of the pump tube and the hole in the end of the lever, so with a key through it so you can see it. And here it is all lined up proper to get the pin pushed in. And right here you can see the piston and connecting rod assembly connected to the pivoting part of the pump lever there. And part of the pin sticking out, and here it is. It's flush on the opposite side but I got it. It sticks out that little bit on this side. And here it is, all done. The whole pump assembly and forearm is done. In here, you take the front sight off, slide the barrel through the barrel band, and put that screw in right there behind where the port gasket goes in to keep it tightened down in place. In here we have the set screw back in the barrel band and that dimple in the barrel, so it keeps the barrel from moving around. And it's all said and done right there. We're up to 52 minutes here, so I'm gonna have to call it this time. So good Lord willing, the creeks don't rise. We'll see you again.